Honor Airy. Evan Herndon, he has recently put down the Pokemon cards to start playing Flesh and Blood instead. Connor, recently coming back to the Pokemon trading card game, took a little bit of a hiatus, some life stuff. He was getting, he was grinding life, and now he has a little bit of spare time to play some Mons, so he shacked up with his roommate, Brandon, and was like, bro, let's go to the Fight Club, and today they are here playing in the Fight Club. I don't know how Brandon is doing. We just saw him play on stream, actually, so Brandon's doing good, actually. Brandon, his roommate, is doing good. Connor and Evan both have this L on their record currently, hoping to make it a positive record after this round. Connor going to go for a Crobat here. That shiny Crobat flex. Second Zacian hitting the board. This is Connor's pet deck, I would say. Connor absolutely loves ZamazentaV. This deck has been his deck for quite a while, and he actually has this really cool addition of the ZacianV Union card in the deck. I actually need to see where that is and where I can download it. But right now, for the time being, y'all remember the doggo. ZacianV. With that Intrepid Sword ability, Connor is going first, so we are going to see him use this ability more than likely. Once during your turn, you may look at the top 3 cards of your deck and attach any number of metal energy cards you find there to this Pokemon. Put the other cards into your hand. If you use this ability, your turn ends. So this is essentially a draw 3, and if in any of those 3 cards is a metal, he can put it onto that Zacian. Primate Wisdom, going to swap a card from his hand with the top card of his deck. And let me see if I can actually go hunting down that that ZacianV Union. Oh no, is it only the pieces? Oh my god, I can only get the pieces of it. Alright, so we're not going to download that. We'll figure that out. I'll have to come up with something for that, but in any case, there's no oversized card I can download? What's the oversized card? Oh my gosh. Well, that's annoying. Does anyone have a link to ZacianV Union as one whole card? That would be sweet if you did. Alright, so looking back at Evan, sorry, I was trying to get this card image thing situated. Playing down a Marnie, and looks like Evan only has opened this Manaphy and Sobble. We see an energy hitting the Sobble. We know Evan is playing Coughing. Or sorry, Weezing. He is playing Galarian Weezing. And then just a pass back to Connor. Connor attaching Metal for turn already. Primate Wisdom to swap the card from his hand with the top card of his deck. ZamazentaV hitting the board. ZamazentaV having that Assault Tackle attack, hitting for 120 and discarding a special energy from the opponent's active Pokemon. And Intrepid Sorting one more time to end his turn. Back to Evan. Marnie again, flaring it to the camera. He's like, one more time. Connor just amassing a setup here, but he had a big hand. Now it is gone due to Marnie, but I see a Marnie in his own hand, along with that Galarian Articuno with that Reconstituate ability. I did overhear Connor saying that he didn't really get a chance to update his deck completely for the new format, but the thing about ZamazentaV, there's really not much to update to it. You know, you could throw a couple Ultra Balls in there, which he probably did, but I don't have deck lists for this tournament because these are fun tournaments. Quick Ball from Evan, sending away this boss's order. I can only assume he's either going to search up a Sobble or a Coughing here. Alright, so going for the Coughing. I think Evan has a way to retreat, so he's just going to... Yep, this. Pay the retreat cost, go into the Sobble, and use Keep Calling to get the other 3 Sobbles out of the deck. Evan hoping to get his setup back here. So something that Connor could do on his turn now, though, is just hunt out these coughings via boss's orders. If Connor has access to boss's order plus an energy, then he is pretty set to disrupt Evan here. But Evan having all 4 lizards in play now, he is ready to drizzile into the sun. But Connor finding that metal energy, attaching it to the Zacian. Let's see if Connor has... Oh, and he does have the bosses in his hand. Wow, Connor can just bosses the coughing and just completely disrupt Evan's setup here, taking him out another turn away from his Weezing. Opting to fill his bench now up with Galarian Articuno V. Has that reconstitute ability. You may discard 2 cards from your hand in order to use this ability. Once per turn, you may draw a card. So discard 2 to draw 1. This is just a discard outlet for his V Union pieces as well. Really good outlet. It also draws him a card, so you like that. So Brave Blade coming down to knock out the Zacian, or to knock out one of these Sobbles. Connor moving down to 5 prizes. Now, another play I would have considered probably is just bosses ordering the coughing and knocking it out instead and not giving Evan access to the Weezing, because now the Galarian Weezing is just going to come up here and turn off all of Connor's abilities and now just smack him for 40 damage every turn. Training Court. And there it is right there, the Galarian Weezing with neutralizing gas. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, your opponent's Pokemon in play have no abilities except for neutralizing gas. So this is Garbatoxin except limited to the active spot. Like, this Pokemon has to be in the active for this ability to be effective. And then Severe Poison. 1 Dark. Your opponent's active Pokemon is not poison. Put 4 damage counters instead of 1 on that Pokemon during Pokemon checkup. So Zacian now at 40 damage. He's going to pay the retreat cost, though, having that air balloon attached, going into Zamazenta. Switching back into the Zacian just to remove the poison and remove the effect of Intrepid Sword, or sorry, remove the effect of Brave Blade as well. So now Connor can swing again with Brave Blade. And Brave Blade to knock out the Galarian Weezing, moving Connor down to 4 prizes. Evan's still sitting at 1. But the idea here is, though, Evan just wants to tick up damage slowly here so we can pop off with a Sableye. Sableye V having that crazy claws attack, 10 plus 60 for each damage counter on your opponent's active. And this Pokemon is very well within range to be knocked out by Sableye at the moment. But instead, Evan dropping down this Hoopa with Assault Gate. Assault Gate saying this Pokemon can only use Assault Gate if it became the active Pokemon this turn from the bench. It does 90 damage. Plus the Choice Belt, 110. 120. Sorry. I just shook my table a lot. I don't want to disconnect my camera. I'm scared. Alright, gonna back up. But yeah, 120 damage is about to hit this Zacian. And Evan having his Snow Cloud cast form in the active. He told me this card is only in the deck because it's a level ball searchable free retreater. Pretty cute. We did cast form in this house. Trading Court to pick up this Dark Energy. Free retreat into the Hoopa. And 120 damage coming down on to the Zacian. Back to Connor. Second energy to the Zamazenta, and then a Metal Saucer coming out to put the 3rd energy onto the Zamazenta. Air Balloon is still on the Zacian as well, so we can retreat for free into the Zamazenta. And Zamazenta will just swing in with that assault. What is it? Assault tackle? Yep, assault tackle. And it looks like Connor went for a Marnie here, and then Rotom Phone. Look at the top 6 of his deck. Take one card, set it to the side, shuffle the other cards back, and put that card he put to the side on the top. This is a way to sculpt the hand, and we can get some cool little plays in here by abusing this card with Primate Wisdom on the Oranguru. So the idea here is Rotom Phone, one of those 6 cards you want to the top, and then Primate Wisdom to switch a card from your hand with that top card of your deck now. Really cool little combo that Zamazenta Zacian does. And here's the free retreat, thanks to Air Balloon. Now Zamazenta active, and 130 coming down onto the Hoopa to overkill it for 10 damage, and Connor moving down to 3 prizes. Snow Cloud Castform back in the active. Evan looking at this 5-card hand, trying to decide what can I do here. No coughing in play. Something that would be really cool here is if Evan had access to, let's see, I mean, another Hoopa, a Boss's Order, knock out the Zacian, take 2 prizes, and try to catch back up. Because now all Connor has to really do here is just start beating in for 120 every turn. Or another play too is Evan needs to set back up another Galarian Weezing, set back up the Galarian Weezing, and then Boss's Orders up something that's heavy and trap it in the active and just keep it poisoned and start pinging up more damage on it, and then let Inteleon and Crazy Claws do the rest of the work for you. But that is the thing about these one-prizer decks, especially Galarian Weezing and Inteleon. It's a lot of moving parts. The solitaire game is pretty real with this deck. Evolution Incense. We're still searching from that. Searching out another Drizzile. Deciding if he wants to do that. Is this a round robin? Nah, it's on this like kind of crappy pairings website called Challenge. I need to switch over to Limitless, but I'm gonna do Limitless for the next ones probably. But that's the pairing system I'm using. So essentially, this is what fighting game tournaments use normally, but it's a really easy interface, so that's why I picked it up for the first one, and I only intended to use it for the first few fight clubs, but then it kind of just stuck. So, like, when I have an uneven amount of players, it gets really weird because of the bye. Like, if the bye doesn't technically count it as a win, it just gives them 3 points. So, like, there's not that 1 on their record. It's super weird. Alright, so another Evolution Incense off of... Okay, I think Evan's trying to see... I mean, I can go back in time and look for them. Alright, hold on, hold on. Ah, crap. No, channel. Yeah, that Drizzle's been in play. I just checked. He's Scuba Up Ned to pick up the line, so he has the Drizzile again, so he evolved that Sobble into a Drizzile. Because remember, he got all these Sobbles out like at the very beginning of the game, too. Clara. Supporter that's finding its way into these decks now. Put a combination, or I think you just put... No, it's not a combination. Yeah, you put 2 Pokemon and 2 energies back into your hand from your discard pile. Energy Search, one of those really weird art ones. I believe that is definitely from a Diamond and Pearl set. Searching out a Dark Energy. Quick Ball, sending the Dark to grab the Coughing. Evan trying to get this strat back online. Clara gonna pick up 4 cards out of his discard pile. 2 Pokemon, 2 energies. Alright, so there are 2 Darks and the Teleon and the Hoopa. Thanks, Evan. Attach in the Dark. Snow Cloud Castform has free retreat. Going into the Assault Gate. And you can hit that for sure. 120 damage coming down onto... What? Oh, sorry. Yeah, the belt's not attached. Might be. 90 damage. Cable Toughness. So now this Zamazenta's at 190 HP. Connor drawing 7 just now off of Professor's Research. Has a pretty hefty discard pile already. Another Rotom Phone coming out. Connor spinning the wheel again. Gonna take a card from that 6, put it on top of his deck, and then switch it to his hand with Primate Wisdom on the Oranguru. The colorless Pokemon that's in between the damaged Zamazenta and the clean Zamazenta. That card's really shiny. I don't know what it is. I think it's Cape of Toughness. Primate Wisdom. Gets Crystal Cave. Heals 30 damage off of both of his metal Pokemon. And removes a Training Court. And then Assault Tackle to take another prize. Connor moving down to 2 prizes. And honestly, this is kind of where Connor might have messed up by putting that cape on the Zacian. Now it can't get air ballooned. So if Evan has Weezing, Boss's energy, he can trap that Zacian now. There is a Drizzile in play too, along with Shady Dealings and Teleon in his hand. So let's see if Evan goes for this line that I'm thinking of. This is quite the... I mean, there's a lot of decisions that can be made here, because he could also be trying to think of a way to go for knockout onto the bench, or for the bench Zach as well, or trying to see a way that he can deal with the Zamazenta. But the Zamazenta, I mean, like, honestly, I think we go for the trap strategy right here. Trap the Zacian in the active, force Connor to have a switch, start shooting the Zacian on the bench with Inteleon. So Energy Search, finding Evan another energy here. Alright, we're now going to go for Shading Dealings and Inteleon. Going to search a deck for 2 trainers, finding Professor's Research. and Quick Ball. Quick Ball. Sending away the Sobble. Grabbing the Galarian Moltres. Putting these two energies down with it. Air Balloon and a Professor's Research. Evan hoping to find the third energy here. So this Galarian Moltres is really cool. Malevolent Charge. When you play it from your hand onto your bench, you can attach 2 Dark Energies from your hand to this Pokemon. And then Fiery Wrath. 20 plus 50 for each prize card your opponent has taken. So 200 extra damage right now, chat. 220 damage. Finds the Dark. $20 on to the Galarian Articuno. And that is a knockout onto the ZamazentaV from Galarian Moltres. $220 damage. Crystal Cave gonna heal 30 more damage off. 120 damage on this Zacian. 1 energy onto the bench Zacian now. And wow, that made it Xaxes. So Connor did place that cape well. Or, sorry, the cape didn't even matter, rather, on the Zamazenta. Is Bad Party the play? Bad Party's always the play. Alright, Connor gonna retreat and go into the clean Zamazenta. And take a knockout here, moving down to 1 prize. And unfortunately, Connor does have, for Evan, this is unfortunate, has the checkmate set up. He does have 2 totally built Pokemon in, ready to go. So no matter what he knocks out here, Zamazenta can do 230 to everything and secure damage. So now this is kind of where Evan has to rely on. Now this is where he does the trap strategy. He wants to trap one of these Pokemon in the active and force Connor to have the switch for game because Connor's at 1. He can knock anything out. So Evan has to make something happen this turn. If only he can Marnie and Bosses in the same turn, right? So here's Bosses. Onto the Kuno. We have Air Balloon. And I forgot to set the timer, but I just did the calculation in my head, and these guys literally have 3 minutes left. You can use abilities, don't try to. Weezing turns it off. Hold on. Okay, he's stopping him. Attaching metal. Primate Wisdom. Gonna switch a card on the top. No, yeah, you can do that. It's not on the active anymore. You can also reconstitute too, if he wanted to. He could recon into a switch card if he wanted to try that. Instead, we're gonna go for Intrepid Sword here. Back to Evan. Scoop of Net. Going back into the Weezing. And just a pass. Severe Poison, gonna put it up to another 4. Second energy, pay the retreat cost, and then he can pay and swing for knockout.